Okay, so I want you to take a look at something real quick. So IWM is the ETF with the most AMC shares, right? Now let's go to GMC, or GME, wow. IJR is the top ETF with the most GME shares, right? And for those of you who accuse me of not explaining things very well, despite having already made videos going over this, I'm going to explain what an ETF is for you again. So an ETF is a type of security that tracks an index, a sector, commodity, or other asset. You can think of it like a basket of stocks, okay? And it represents an underlying index, and it's supposed to track that index however that index moves, okay? Depending on the ETF, because there's different types. It's pitched as a riskless investment because you leave it to the professionals to put the ETF together. It's for people that don't know a lot about the market, and they just give them to their broker and let their broker do what they wish, and expect returns. Basically, anything marketed like that in finance is catastrophic or has the potential to be. And I think we're at that point because this rabbit hole is so deep. I can't even make the sexual reference I would like to on YouTube. So, anyways, taking it from there, types of ETFs. We have bond ETFs, industry ETFs, commodity ETFs, currency ETFs, inverse ETFs, which is attempting to earn gains from stock declines by shorting stocks. We have ETFs that can be purchased on margin and sold short. They can trade on futures and options. So just like a stock, however, it only represents equity and not the underlying asset because you're betting on multiple assets. So when we take into account AMC and GameStop, iShares ETF is issued by BlackRock, and we have iShares ETFs in both, of course, AMC and GameStop. Now, if we just look at URTY, okay, URTY, which we know for a fact URTY is in both of these stocks. It's made up 0.18% of GameStop, and look at this. It's one of the only leveraged ones, okay? Leveraged. Okay. Let's see how many are leveraged. Real quick, while I've got you here. There's only 4 ETFs that are leveraged, okay? And now when something's leveraged, oh my, hold on a second. Okay, no. Okay, there's just 4. There's 4 leveraged ones. So we have the Direxon Daily Retail Bull 3 times shares. We have the ProShares Ultra Small Cap 600. We have the Leveraged Equity US Small Cap. And then we have Leveraged Equity US Small Cap again, URTY and UWM. So let's look at URTY, because URTY, I'm going to show you right here, is also an AMC. And it's the same thing. Now, this is way less, okay? Way less allocation. However, when you go to Fintel and you look at the top 10 holdings of URTY, look at this. Total return swap, total return swap, total return swap, repurchase agreement, repurchase agreement, repurchase agreement, repurchase agreement. And then we have a BlackRock Liquidity Fed Fund? What? Who owns this crap? Jesus. Sorry if that scared anyone. Oh, thank God there's no AMC shares in here. I was gonna... Okay, so the Fed Fund itself doesn't have any AMC or GameStop, but it has the ETF that has AMC and GameStop. And when I show you what I'm going to show you next, like, I almost pooped myself. Look at this. Look at these value changes. 72. Okay, screw off. Sorry about that. My computer's being a dick. And then my internet goes out. Sweet. Okay, there it goes. Sorry for being dramatic for a second. Okay, look. 72.883,000%. What's going on here? Russell 2000 E-mini index, DE. What does that even mean? There's there's no shares listed other than the BlackRock liquidity. So we have an ETF in both of these stocks that has clearly been used in the repurchase agreement and is clearly being used by BlackRock and the Fed fund. What's going on here? I think we just scratched more stuff. And now, funnier yet, now look at this. IWM, top holding, AMC, right? Also has GameStop as well. Well, if we look at IWM, their average spread percentage, this is measured over the last 45 days, is 0%, but yet it has a daily volume of $5 billion. Oh, and by the way, remember that warning in the PowerPoint about liquidity? How a problem is a lack of liquidity? Could be a big issue. You don't have to worry about that because check this out. ETF.com implied liquidity, 5, which is the best it could be. So it gets worse, unfortunately, because if we look at the short interest, funds disclosing short positions, we have Citadel Advisors with 16.9 million puts. We have Jane Street with 13.5 million puts. Remember Jane Street, one of the only two, participants of the ADF facility. We have Bank of America with 16.9, Credit Suisse. By the way, Credit Suisse has 14 million. I think Susquehanna has the most at 35 million puts. Who else? It's basically everyone, all the banks. So is this literally BlackRock versus banks versus whoever? I don't know. It's so crazy. There's 130 million short interest shares on this thing. It's just nuts. Where'd the short stuff go? But yeah, I mean, the short volume is nuts. Look at the fails to deliver. I mean, oh boy. This is crazy. But I think the short interest of the shares outstanding, yeah, it's 43%. 43%. So, I mean, we're entering into some crazy stuff here. And this, and especially this confirms all of my thoughts about the reverse repurchase being utilized to somehow involve these meme stocks. Because if you think about it, this is the ETF side of the transaction, right? So when the repurchase agreement is done, that's when the assets are being purchased. When a reverse repurchase, it's when the assets are being sold. So, anyways, I'll leave you with that. 72,000% change, followed by a 54,000%, followed by a 45, followed by a 41, followed by a 33, all total return swaps. Take it easy.